What's going on, millennial men? Good morning. Good morning, blue collar men. Obviously, it's not really a good morning with the news. Horrible, tragic news. Thoughts and prayers and condolences and sympathy and empathy always go out to, the victims of these. I don't even know what to call this. This inhumane acts. This stuff doesn't make sense. Like, when will enough be enough? Like, I wanted to go live and talk to you guys today, about the hard things. Like, I think that's the only way we're going to improve as people and as a nation is if we're talking about things that are hard. All right, so give me a second. I want to share this on my other account so I can reach more of my followers. But it's just, I don't understand, why these has to happen. What do you think we could do? I mean, I think one thing that we can do, for one, is to recognize there's a problem. Like, anytime you want to create a new result, we're always told in the world of self-help, focus on what we want, right? Focus on what we want. But in order to do that, you got to be clear about what we don't want. I think more people in this nation, for whatever reason, still need to be clear on the fact that we don't want mass shootings. Like, this is messed up. We don't want there to be people, innocent kids, anybody being killed in public problems. The heart of the problem is a problem of the heart, Yeah, it's just, I guess you can't change some people that are so stuck in their ways, or maybe the older generations that were kind of brought up in the, different times and more racism and, more war, more killing and death. And I get that, but Jesus, we can't stay stuck. We cannot stay the same and progress into the future. We need to evolve. We need to become better, raise our consciousness, raise our awareness of what's going on. And these heinous acts, these abominable, ridiculous, terrible acts needs to stop. Like, it cannot become a norm any more than it already has in our country. It's literally insane. That's what it is. It's insanity. Yeah, it's sin. It's nasty. It's abominable. Yeah, and that person right there is a part of the problem. When you're defending something as abominable as 12 innocent lives being killed, you're part of the problem. You're helping create that more of that. We need people to realize how wrong it is. It is fucked up. It is wrong. No, I mean, I don't know any other normal country that has these kind of acts, these kind of mass shootings. Like, it's just messed up. Yeah, we got to stop defending murder. We got to draw a hard line in the sand when enough is enough, and we got to say, look, I think there needs to be reform on gun laws. I'm not saying completely that the Second Amendment needs to be taken away. I'm not saying that necessarily at all, for sure. But what I am saying is that we need to have, common sense laws. Yeah, prevent people. It's making it too easy for people to die. Absolutely, I agree. We need to have stricter rules and regulations on gun laws. We cannot have this continue to happen at all. I don't know for sure what needs to be happen. I'm with you guys, like, in the trenches, learning, understanding politics and stuff more every single day. But I know for sure that, man, it's one thing when you hear about it as a bystander that's not directly involved, but it's another thing when you've lost your friends. It's a whole nother level when that was your brother, that was your aunt, or that was your niece, that was your sister that died. Like, it's tragic. It's tragedy that should never happen. And I think, as a leader, as the leader of the Millennial Men movement, which the Millennial Men movement is about standing up for what's right. It's about speaking out against this kind of stuff that's happening in our country. And that's why I've been doing more videos about, these topics and politics and what's going on. And it's crazy. Just a few days after the election, we have another mass shooting. 12 people die. Like, it's just, It's really insanity. And if you don't feel into it and you don't realize how wrong this is, and you don't think that there needs to be a change, I think that you should change. I think you should change your mindset, because realize that could happen to you. That could happen to your family. You could be in that shooting. You could be the victim, crawling on the ground, hiding, in terror, traumatized for your life, right? I think, speak out against violence. I think there definitely needs to be changes. We need to draw a hard line in the sand. We need gun reform. We need gun control now. We need stricter rules and regulations on guns and who can get access to it and all that kind of stuff. It's just crazy. It's crazy what's going on in this country today. And I think one thing I know for sure, because policy and politics is definitely one thing. I think we need improvement there. But another thing is, I think you should use your voice. You should use your voice. You have a say. We all have a voice. You can do videos. You can use social media. You can talk to your friends. You can create conversations. You can stand up for what you believe is right. And I believe that, I'm going to speak out against mass shootings. I think this is heinous, horrible acts that should never be created. No person in America should ever have to worry about whether their kids are going to come home alive or not at the end of the day. This affects all of us. I have younger brothers. I have one that's in high school. This could happen anywhere. Who knows, right? It's not just it's not always outside, somewhere else, oh, that doesn't happen to you. No, you don't know. Anything could happen. And I think we need to have that mindset and realize that, we're all vulnerable and this could happen to anybody. And we need change. And I think the way we can change, we can create a vision for our lives. We can share that, right? We can speak out against stuff like this. We can talk about and share our opinions on topics like this and really try to move the needle of humanity forward, try to progress, because where we're at now is it's just completely messed up. It's just completely messed up. Right, I'm not blaming inanimate objects. That's not the case at all. What I'm saying is we need stricter rules around so that these nutsos or psychos or deranged people that are seeing the president's behaviors, so they can't get access to guns and handguns and shotguns and things and automatics, and that just shouldn't be happening at all. It should be so hard to get your hand around a rifle. It should be so hard to get guns in your hand in this state. You have to pass tests, you have to have rules, you have to have locks, you have to have regulations around it, you have to have training, all those things need to take place. There should be no way you can just, go to a gun store, be 18 and buy a gun. I think that is stupid. I don't even know how it works. But with the amount of mass shootings happening, you need to feel into it and really put ahead of your personal interests and put what's right for the whole ahead of just what you think personally, might be better. Yeah, start trying to get them off the streets. It's just crazy. There's millions of guns. There's so many guns. There's probably 2-3 guns there's probably 5 guns to every person that lives in America. But it's just, we're at that point where, it's become a norm for me. And I hate saying that, but it's another mass shooting. That should never exist. You should not wake up and think, this is another day. There was a mass shooting. More people got killed. All right, I'm going to go on my day. I think that's fucked up. I think when we can speak out against what's wrong, we need to stand up for what is right. We need to, lay down the law. And I guarantee you, other first world powerful countries have stricter gun laws than we do. I guarantee you they have reform. They have different regulations. They have a different culture around guns and violence in general. And that's the direction that we need to move towards. It's not even just about guns. It's a cultural mindset. It's a cultural consciousness. That's what it is. It's a consciousness. And when you got a guy like Trump that is, violent and insulting and, doing the things and saying the things that he's saying, obviously there's going to be actions that follow suit. There's going to be a reflection of that, happening, in America, because he's the leader. All right. So I don't know. I think we need to get him out of office. We need to stand up for what's right. And we need to get stricter rules around guns. We need to focus on the consciousness we want, right? That's why I want to talk about the Millennial Men movement. For those of you that are millennial men, use the hashtag MMM chat, all right? So it stands for Millennial Men Movement Chat. If we use this and we talk about these issues and share content that follows the hashtag, we can engage, we can create a different consciousness. We can use the internet and social media to form a different consciousness around how we view guns and violence and normality, right? Because a lot of America is fucked up. We got a lot of messed up, a lot of our culture is messed up, right? There's so much violence, so many guns, so much hatred, so much division and segregation in this country. And I think we can move past that place and we can use something like the Millennial Men movement, which is about helping millennial men become, chivalrous, courageous, committed men that we're destined to really be. We got to get rid of this. It's this stigma of, if you're a man, that's just the way you are. You're aggressive, you're violent, you're this, you're that. That's not powerful. That's fake. All right. So we want to come from a place that's good, that is trying to genuinely help other people. All right. So share your thoughts. I want to see on comments below the video what you guys think. What can we do, to stop this? How can you get involved? How can the Millennial Men movement help? What can we do as millennial men, as leaders of, the upcoming leaders of this generation? There's got to be better ways, because this is so far below the standards that we should hold for ourselves. It's just, it's like mind-boggling that we even have to discuss this. That's how crazy it is. Right, yeah, men are obviously generally more aggressive, so we need to talk about how we can tone down the aggressiveness and get into a level of assertiveness and come across as positive role models. How can we all be positive role models? Use the hashtag MMM chat, hashtag chat, and use that to talk about positive stuff so we can be role models for one another and other people. All right, for anybody that follows you, all right? If you're sharing good stuff, if you're making videos and you're talking about topics, the most important topics and issues like this, you use the hashtag, I will retweet you. I will help you. I will like whatever you're doing. If it's good stuff, we can create a new consciousness. That's really what we need to do. We need to create a new consciousness around these horrible issues in America. All right? That's just what I wanted to say this morning, guys. It's just horrible news. I'm gonna think about it later, reflect on it more, and definitely think, how I can help with these issues, how I can be a better leader, and hopefully we can change the way people look at guns and stuff. Yeah, I mean, part of it too is if you come from a military background, I'll end it on this note. You got to have some kind of retraining into society, because when you go into the military, you're basically brainwashed, and you're trained like a robot to take orders, to follow through on commands, and to think with less emotion. So when you come back into society, you're not really always 100% fit for society. All right, so I think they should have a special section of the government or help for military people that come back into society. They need to be retrained on how to think and fully use the right and the left side of their brains, and how to function, as a human being, because there's a different program that you need to be in the military, and then there's a whole other different program that you have to be a normal functioning contributing member of society, and they're not the same thing. So I do agree, if there's problems with, if mass shooters tend to be from a military background, I'm not saying that they're not human. I'm saying that they need help to get properly retrained on how to feel and be fully functioning. Because when you go into the military, sometimes what happens is you lose that. You tend to go more extreme. And if you actually look it up, there's obviously, if you go in the military and you're using guns and stuff, I know you need it, but there's a lot of messed up disorders, mental health disorders with people in the military, and stuff that I don't even want to say. But I think that's one way that we can, help people, in the military, help people that have mental health. I think that's an issue. No, I wasn't in the military, but I know enough from watching and studying and looking at military leaders to know that obviously what you go through, changes you. It programs you. You get trained to be a killer. You get trained to carry a gun. So that's different programming, mental, than what it is to be a normal citizen when you just wake up and you go to the job. You don't have to worry about your life, so to speak. But actually today, you kind of do, which is sad. You have to worry about, hey, will your kids make it home? Will you be safe? Will you be safe in a public area? And we shouldn't have to think like that. So we definitely need improvement. However it comes about, we definitely need improvement from where we're at now. So thanks for watching. Even just doing these videos gives me more clarity myself and on my topics, on how I feel about certain things. And I just hope more people develop more empathy, develop a higher consciousness on what is right, what needs to happen in this country. And however you can help, Millennial Man, post a comment below. Yeah, I know, it shouldn't have to be the norm. Like, mass shooting should not be a norm. Yeah, I know there's been a lot of punks. There's been a lot of punks on my stream. That's part of the business. So I will see you guys next time. I'm going to drop it off there. But join in the conversation. Comment below. What do you guys think? I mean, I think this is the way we improve, is when we use our voice. We all have a say. We get out there and we speak what we feel, in our heart. We stand up for what's right and we speak out against what's wrong. That's what the Millennial Man Movement's about. If you want to be part of that, if you want to be part of the healing consciousness, the progressive consciousness, the way the world's actually moving, not staying stuck, not being completely conservative and staying stuck and being the way things have always been. That's not the way. That's not the future. You need some of that. You need some saving, some conservatism. You need some of both sides, right? But how we're going to move is we're going to raise our consciousness, all right? We got to have leaders in place that have best interest for all, and get the leaders out that have the best interest for themselves. So I'll leave it on that. See you guys next time. As always, stay motivated.